Shout out to Tempo. You can make purples, pinks, yellows, reds, whites. Yeah, I love it. I'm benefiting from all this bullshit that y'all love. Mike Wayne, you let us make greens with button, but you still brought Tempo. And we was wondering why would you bring Tempo if we could green with button again? What's the point? Oh, now you don't even have to make greens with Tempo. You can make whites. It don't even have to be in a green window. It's Ricky. And if I ever do a fucking wager, ain't nobody using Tempo. I promise you that.
Okay, he has spoken. So Illuminati has spoken. Dewey So has spoken. And listen, man, it's something when he comes on. Man rarely gets on in videos and all that type stuff anymore. But when he takes the time out to literally do a video and talk about rhythm shooting, that, hey man, there's an impact here. And we've been going back and forth with this for the longest time, man. We talked about contests, we talked about all these things, but rhythm shooting, which is so ironic, right? The origin, if you don't know, the reason why rhythm shooting came into the game, if you've been watching my videos, you know this, but the reason why rhythm shooting was put into the game was to negate cheaters, right? Because the whole premise was, if you use rhythm shooting, well, the mechanism times the square button. So, your Zens and the Titans could, easily time that. Remember, first it was timing the shot meter. So then what they did was, in competitive arenas, they took away the shot meter. But then, of course, the software, they updated it, the Titan and stuff. And then, they were able to time the jumper with square, right? So then what 2K decided to do was like, all right, we have to find a new mechanic to shooting, right? So we're gonna use right stick, the up down method, because there's no way a Titan software will be able to time that. Well, they found out a way to time that. So that was last year. So this year, I was under the impression that this rhythm shooting wouldn't even be in the game anymore, because the whole purpose of rhythm shooting is no longer even effective. You're not gonna, prevent cheaters from using the Titans or now the Zens for this year. It just is what it is. But they still brought it back. Now, if you remember, Mike Wayne was asked, he was like, yo, so what is the difference between square button rhythm shooting this year, right? Because we were all like, there is no difference, the way that they're breaking it down to us. And he said, there is no difference. It's just that rhythm shooting is quote unquote more rewarding. And I was just like, more rewarding? And I was like, well, what does that even mean, more rewarding? Because is it more rewarding because, it was thought that, you wouldn't be cheating? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But the simple fact is that there is no difference, right, between rhythm shooting and square, other than the fact that we found out that you do not need to actually time it for it to go in. Like you don't have to time it. You can have slightly early, slightly late, or late, early, whatever. But as long as your tempo is legit, on time, and excellent, then you're perfectly fine. Well, at first out, the way he explained it, he was like, yo, so you could be able to shoot the ball quicker than you wanted to. Like if somebody's really coming, they're about to, block your shot, you can do your up down even quicker and be able to get that shot off. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's a good idea, right? But in theory, it's a good idea. But when you see it in action, it's really not a good idea, because now what you're seeing is that people are literally able to use, first of all, let's talk about the people that are cheating, right? The people that are cheating, they get the biggest leadway now. They don't even have to time it. All they have to do is just tell their software, use this tempo every single time. Let me say that again. All you have to do is tell your software, I want this tempo, I want down up every single time, I want this speed every single time. So now, even if you're contesting the shot, the green window shrinks, it doesn't matter. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. When you get a contest, or you're fatigued, or you're tired, right? There is a different shot release. There's a different timing, right? Y'all do know that. I hope y'all know that. right? If you're tired and you're fatigued, if your window is blinking, if your stamina bar is blinking compared to when your stamina bar is full, that's a different type of speed. If you're hitting square, right? But if you're tempo shooting, right, you just have to maintain a tempo. That's it, and it goes in. So you don't even have to worry about being fatigued. You can just be like, all right, cool, tempo, this speed, every single time in your software, and you'll hit every single shot unless it's blocked. So that is what's really scary about it. But you also have players that are really good at this game and aren't cheating and are still able to use the tempo shooting really well. There's people on my team or people that in our crew that I play with that are shooting over 90% from three, and they legit aren't cheating. Like, they were literally like FaceTime, show me their setup, and the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, damn, dog, like, you're like a machine. Like, you really can time. He's like, dude, all I gotta do is just maintain the same tempo. That's it. I don't have to green nothing. I'm like, you're right. That's kind of crazy to think about. That, you know what I'm saying? And then for the casual players, right, that aren't as great as that, you know, that 1%, they're still shooting 60, 70%, fading, doing everything because of the tempo shooting, not being able to time their shot properly. And I'm asking y'all right now, how many games have you played where you played somebody and they've hit multiple shots without timing their shot properly using tempo shooting? All of us can say, bro, I've seen people go 6 for 6 and ain't timed one shot properly. I mean, I think all of us is in that, right? I mean, I know me personally, I'm doing that. I'm tempo shooting, and I used to never tempo shooting, but I started tempo shooting just because of, like, bro, like, there is a massive difference. So anyway, going back to what Mike Wang said about, like, you know, when it's like, yo, it's more rewarding. Yeah, it's more rewarding because you don't have to literally time your shot properly. So there is an advantage of having using square compared to rhythm shooting. There's a massive advantage now because of the stamina that is being drained, and then trying to understand that you have a different release time. You really have to watch your release to be able to time it properly compared to someone that's tempo shooting who does not have, all you have to do is just maintain a certain tempo the whole time. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. Just make sure you go down and you up the tempo the proper way every single time it goes in. Whereas people with square, if the stamina or your contest system is different, it is a different release, okay? So in my humble opinion, all Mike Wang needs to do is literally take out the tempo, right? Take out the tempo and just make it strictly timing. If you make it strictly timing, you're gonna see people percentages drop dramatically, and you're gonna see a more realistic bump with it compared to people that, well, actually it'd be fair now for square buttons and rhythm shooting players. But if my only advice I'm giving you right now, if they're not going to change this, I strongly advise every single one of my viewers, every single one of my supporters, nephews, nieces, I need y'all to just go ahead and start rhythm shooting. I'm telling you, it's weird at first. It's going to take some time. You know, old head like me, like, I've been pressing square for, you know, since 2K's been out, right, for over 20 plus years. But it is more rewarding, now I'm using Mike Wang stuff, because you have extreme leadway on making mistakes. So all I'm telling you, right, is that the advantage, you're going to put yourself in a disadvantage if you are not using rhythm shooting. So make sure you use rhythm shooting. And if you're asking me, should there be a patch? Yes, they should patch rhythm shooting to where it is, take the tempo timing out and make it solely off. Like there, you can see I shot right there, boom. There's one up there. I should have been watching my clips from behind and watching it, but there probably was a lot of those where people were getting slightly late and still going in. So that would be my thing, man. And don't ask me if there's a patch. I don't know if there's a patch coming, but there should be something coming, right, to fix that, because it's definitely an issue. But anyway, y'all let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about this. Other than that, it's your favorite old head, Uncle Jimmy. I'll be back really, really soon on the Banger Man E&O. When I say back soon on the Banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.